Hey guys, welcome back to the Triple Cross Podcast Baseball Edition. I'm here with my two good friends, Warren, who is very intimidating right now holding a baseball, and Justin, who's not intimidating at all. Friendly faces, like we always see. And guys, I have a new microphone, which is so cool. And we'll be back in 30, and we're going to get right into everything after this cool message.
The following is a presentation of the Belly Up Sports Media Network.
Welcome back. We are talking baseball. We are in it. I'm here with Warren and Justin. We are all in California. Let's just be real. So we're coming live from California, from Los Angeles, from the Bay Area. Warren and Justin, welcome aboard. Warren, how are you doing? And I want to know something about you that I may not know. These are deep questions. What is like your favorite baseball movie of all time?
Oh, excellent. Hey, thanks for having me on again. Definitely appreciate it. Pleasure to be here. Favorite baseball movie of all time. I don't think it's the best, but it was one of the first that I ever watched that I was like, oh, this is 100% a baseball movie. Angels in the Outfield.
Oh, you bastard.
He took his thunder.
When the angel is behind the pitcher, I forget his name, and just like blows the wings. That's like, yeah, that's how I feel every time I'm on the mound.
Cool. Well, apparently you had a pretty good outing this past weekend. I'll let you do a little plug here of your team if you want to go ahead and plug yourself. That's fine.
Oh, absolutely. The PCHL, the Pacific Coast Hardball League, had their opening day this past weekend, April Fool's Day. We unfortunately, the Oakland Ghosties, lost 14-13 to the San Francisco 29ers on a walk-off. There were 5 lead changes across the game. I pitched in the third, a couple of walks, no runs. But anyways, Justin also started the game, a couple of hits. Go Ghosties.
Very
nice. Actually, I got 3 hits, but that's okay.
3 hits. Wow. Just making sure we're all on the same page. Justin, welcome back, my friend. I'm so glad to have you. I'm going to kick it over to you. Favorite baseball movie? You can't choose the same one that Warren did.
Yeah, he took what I'd been thinking about. So another movie in a similar era, still not the best movie, but I like Rookie of the Year. I thought that was a pretty cool movie when I was growing up. So
okay,
I'll go with Rookie of the Year. I think Field of Dreams gets too much love, so we got to bring it to the 90s.
I dig that. I have a very close relationship to the Rookie of the Year because I had elbow surgery when I was around that time, and I thought I was going to come back and just
100?
throw like 95 at 13 years old. That was the dream. I was like, man, this movie's really selling it hard. Like, yeah, get something wrong with your arm, and then just come out, blazing gas. Very cool. Glad to have you guys back. I need to do a quick little rundown here of our sponsors before we get into the show. Before I do that, for the folks that are watching on YouTube, make sure that you like this video. For every 10 likes, we're giving an MLB gift card giveaway. Also, hop over to Playback, because for the folks that are in Playback, we are also going to be doing an exclusive giveaway there. The link is in the description. If you have an account, great. If you don't, sign up. Super easy. So make sure you like us and then hop over to Playback so you can win a bunch of gift cards. So on to the next. We have to call out Kanazori Shoes for 15% off. Kanazori.com/triple. The link is in the description. They give you an extra 2.8 inches of height. So that's pretty cool, right? Like both Warren and Justin, you guys, if you had those shoes on the hill, you would have a more downward trajectory. So it may help out your game a little bit.
Just
So
physics.
More tilt.
yeah, exactly. So head over to conazori.com/triple to get 15% off. They already have a 30% off sale, so you're going to get a whole bunch of savings there. And then the next I wanted to call out is Perk Chinos. Perk Chinos makes your booty look good. Warren and Justin, you guys could probably wear this on the field to make your booty look good while you're playing out. I mean, you don't know who's watching you, right? You could be getting some hollering at you while you're playing some ball. Make your booty look a little rounder. Warren, I know.
Spoken for.
I'm aware. But you never, you could shout out. You get some shout outs. Head over to perkclothing.com. Buy 2, you get 1 free. The link is in the description. So if you want to make your booty look good, check that out. Also, we are sponsored by Manscaped. Go to manscaped.com, use Belly Up Fantasy for 20% off. If you want to get clean under the equator, I highly recommend you do that. And last but not least, we are giving away 2 free tickets to an MLB game of your choice. So take a friend, take someone you just met, take a loved one, or you can just go by yourself and just have like 2 seats and just like have it. Actually, I think I've been to a game alone and just had an extra seat just for food. I'm a big foodie when I go. I know Warren's not shocked. I just have a seat for food, a couple of hot dogs, nachos. So you can win 2 tickets to a game of your choice. The link is in the description. So please check that out. For folks that are watching on YouTube, like the video. For folks that are watching on IG, hello. And for folks that are watching on Twitter, hello. We are like going multi-channel here, and I have a new microphone, so there's like an exponential growth. I'm super excited. One reminder before we get into it: if you are on any channel, go to playback.com/triple cross podcast. Oh, did Warren Justin freeze? Maybe he did. Triple cross podcast. Sorry, playback.com/triple cross podcast. The link is in the description. You can win an extra MLB gift card that we're giving away today. All right. And we're about 8 minutes in, and we can finally playback.tv. I'm sorry. I'm getting all the .coms and .tvs, and we're on so many channels. I'm getting it all mixed up. But we're back in it finally, and now we can get to the show. And I want to bring up, well, actually, I really want to kick it over to Warren because I gave Warren the option to add some color to our show because he's a very colorful guy. And Warren brought up a gentleman named Grayson Rodriguez. And I want to kick it over to you, Warren. Tell me about him. Tell me why we should be excited about him.
This may matter more to your fantasy baseball listeners, but Grayson Rodriguez has a comparable pitch profile to Sandy Alcantara, who recently had that amazing 1 hour and 57-minute complete game shutout. According to Stuff Plus, he also has better stuff than Hunter Green, who we're going to talk about in a little bit, whose fastball averages over 100 miles an hour. In his debut, he threw 5 innings. He gave up a couple of runs, had a handful of strikeouts. He'll get another chance to pitch. There's an injury to the Orioles staff. It's going to keep him up, I think, for one more turn through the rotation. But highly likely he gets sent back down to protected service time. Watch him if you can. He's a special arm. He'll be special for a while in the future. And frankly, this kind of a pitcher coming up with 95 plus, the off speed, the changeup, the command of multiple pitches, this is surprisingly not uncommon. We're seeing a lot of this these days. We're in a golden age of pitching. thanks, I think, in large part to drive line and the revolution of velocity that we've seen over the last few years. It's pretty cool to watch.
Yeah, that's great insight. I honestly had never heard of him, so I'm glad you brought him up. What do you have him on your fantasy?
No, in the leagues that I'm in, he's been gone for 3 or 4 years.
Okay, gotcha. Well, that is exciting. And you brought up Hunter Green, and we have to bring this up because on opening day he threw 105 miles an hour. I don't know if either of you guys saw the clip, but I was just like, I think the announcers were like, "Wait a second, is there a glitch with the like speed gun or whatnot?" Yeah, Justin, did you see that?
No, I didn't see it live. I might have seen a clip though. I think I saw the replay. I mean,
Warren, did you see it?
No, not live. No,
Okay.
I definitely
Well,
saw
not
a number
live,
of those
yeah.
replays.
Yeah, I mean, like,
Yeah.
So
It's so effortless. The ball just comes out of his hand, and you see it. You're like, oh, that's nothing. All right, cool. And then the radar gun lights up. Oh my God!
Explain to the folks again. I don't. I think you did on our opening day broadcast. There's like been studies done on cadavers of how hard like an arm can actually throw. Please enlighten us about that.
Yeah. So actually, interestingly, the multi-generational family, the Stottlemeyers, one of them, I don't know if it was Mel or Tim or whoever the hell, but one of them had a pitching institute that he partnered with, and they did studies on cadavers to see the maximum G-force that you could exert on an elbow. So human beings are apparently approaching the limits of what we can do. When we see somebody throw 105 miles an hour, we're operating at the margin. There's only a slight more that we could do before the elbow just simply explodes. So basically, we're running up against the 110 mile an hour fastball. Maybe is theoretical according to this particular study, but highly unlikely without a ton of elbow injuries. Oh my goodness!
Justin, you're kind of giving me a smile over there. Are you getting close to that level, or what's going on?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'm humping at least 68 miles per hour.
Okay, cool.
But I mean,
nice.
I think even if we could get a human being to throw, say, 108 miles per hour, I'm not sure how many bullets you have in that. Like, I don't think you can do that for an inning. I think that's a problem. I think it's probably, 105. I mean, obviously, we've seen guys throw that hard before, but do you really need to throw harder than 105? Is the other thing.
I mean, look, if you can hit 108, like I would say maybe every inning, one pitch every inning. I mean, yeah, that's your strikeout pitch, probably.
3-2 count. I need it right now. Let's
yeah,
say
like
108.
that is like that's like when you're playing a video game and you have like something like in your, in your cart that you're saving up to use when you're like in a dire situation. Like you throw the 108 when you're like in that situation, or the 105, whatever. Like you can't hit. I mean, probably the fastest I faced was like, I don't know, 80, 85. I mean, that's just a whole other world that I was thinking about this.
But this is the revolution that we're in, though. I mean,
yeah.
How many prospects are coming up through the minor leagues right now that are throwing 88, 89, 90 miles an hour? Nobody. Everybody's got this velo behind them, and it's really, really impressive. You look at the average fastball velocity over the last 10 years, even. The league is transformed. You get these old guards saying, "Oh, there's too many strikeouts. Just hit the ball the other way." Dude, 100 mile an hour fastballs? I don't think so.
Who would be? I don't know how fast Randy Johnson. I think Randy Johnson was like the scariest pitcher. I never obviously faced him, but he looked terrifying to face. I don't know what he topped out at. I think he probably topped out at. I don't know if he hit 100. I don't know if you guys know.
Oh yeah.
Did he?
Oh yeah,
absolutely.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just imagining him hitting like
especially
104.
in the Seattle days.
Yeah. Oof, man.
But he was so wild back then. It's like
I know. But I mean, that's what they. How about the All-Star game when John Kruk he threw behind his head? Oh my God! And he went to the other side of the plate. That was so good. I would be so scared to face him. I would be. I mean, I don't know. How would you guys feel about facing Randy Johnson?
Oh no, I'm a pitcher. I don't hit.
Okay. Justin, then I'll kick it over to you.
I mean, I would claim the same thing. I just started hitting not too long ago. So, yeah, no, I just looking at the replays, especially when he was on with Seattle, he'd throw one down the middle, 98, and then the next one's on the backstop behind you. And it's like, all right, man, come on, dude. Like, you're not digging into the box. You're just not.
Yeah, you're not. You're basically praying for your life. Dude, I would have so many. I mean, I already had an elbow pad when I hit, but I would have like the full, like the
bionic,
shield on the.
the
Oh
bonds?
yeah, I'd have it fully decked out. I may be wearing a chest protector under my jersey too, just in case. I wouldn't put it past me. That would be, yeah. We may have to dive into deeper discussion.
Who'd notice?
All right. The other thing I wanted to call out for opening week is the stolen bases. And this is actually one thing that they wanted to, increase is the number of stolen bases because the bases are bigger. So just a couple call outs. 2022 through 87 games, there were 61 stolen bases on 89 attempts. That's a 68.5% success rate. In 2023, 91 games, 124 stolen bases, so more than double on 154 attempts, 80.5% success rate. I love this. I think that it's really good for the game to get this small ball back. And I was thinking about it. I'm like, is it really the base like that made the difference a few inches for people trying to attempt more stolen bases? Or is it just like that mindset of like, oh, I've got a few extra inches, I'm going to try this? Justin, what's your take on how players are like? I mean, do you think it's one or the other? Like, do you actually think it's making a difference, or do you think they're just like, oh, let's try and see what happens?
I think it's a couple things, and obviously I don't have any empirical evidence to back this up, but I have a feeling that the pitch clock is making it tougher for pitchers to vary, like when they go to the plate, and I wonder, you don't have much time to mess around anymore. You could stand up there for a while, make the batter step out of the box, and that throws off the runner's timing also, and then you start all over from scratch. But you got 15 seconds. You look over, you can only throw over a couple times, right, before the next one he gets the free base anyway. So I think all of these things together with a bigger bag probably leads to, you might as well try it, and, there's no shift. So maybe the hit and run's a little bit easier to try to pull off. I don't know. I think there's a lot of factors kind of converging that make it more enticing for the base stealer.
Yeah, that's true. Warren, what's your take on it?
I agree with what Justin said. I also add, I think only being able to pick off or disengage from the rubber twice is problematic for managing runners on base. So, I mean, I don't like that rule, just like I don't like the pitch clock. But that, it's adding some more excitement, obviously, as we're seeing empirically from the stolen base numbers. So I guess just like I think about golf, if more people are interested, then great, even if there's a little bit of weirdness involved.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited. I like it. I was wondering when we were going to start to see more stolen bases because I kind of missed a small ball. I miss more players bunting, to be honest, and like actually hitting runs, things like that. And so I'm glad it's back. And if the pitch clock is what needed to drive it, then yeah, I'm all for it. Let me see. I need to mention that folks that are watching on YouTube, like this video. For every 10 likes, we are doing a giveaway of an MLB gift card. Also, head over to playback.tv/Triple Cross podcast. The link is in the description. You can make a free account, and we are giving an MLB gift card giveaway just for folks that are there. So you can be in both YouTube and also Playback. For folks that are watching us on IG, you heard everything I said, so you can go to YouTube and Playback, and enter to win, have a chance to win. And Twitter too. We're on Twitter. We're on so many places. I'm like losing my mind almost. All right, let's continue on. What is next? Yeah, Warren, you brought up. I didn't know about this, but Fernando Tatis is in the minors doing a rehab. And tell the story of the. Go ahead and tell us a story about Fernando Tatis. Why don't you?
Yeah, so I'm not going to comment. Based on my own fan history, I'm not going to comment on the fact that he's on a steroid suspension, doing a rehab assignment in the minor leagues, and he's a good player. And this one particular Giants prospect happened to give up a goddamn tater to him that went about 500 feet. And so one of the organizations posted, "Hey, Fernando Tatis is coming back. Here's him hitting a tater." And somebody quote tweeted and said, "Oh, this pitcher, Cade McClure, is going to remember this moment for the rest of his life when he gave up a home run to a Hall of Famer." And Cade McClure quote tweets it back and says, "Cheater hits a home run on rehab assignment during a steroid suspension."
Wow.
I love it. I love it. Baseball doesn't usually allow for that sort of salt being outspoken, but oh god, I love it. That's Fernando Tatis. Not because of the steroids, but just because he's a Padre in the same division as my boys.
Yeah, that was pretty. He's got some chutzpah for doing that, for sure.
He hit that ball so far, though.
I know he did. He smashed that.
It hurt my feelings.
Over the
He
left
hit it
field
so hard, it
clubhouse.
hurt my feelings. I was like,
It
man,
hurt your feelings, Justin?
I'd be salty too. I mean, if someone hit a ball that hard that I threw and it wasn't a home run derby, like I would, like that is brutal.
Would you tweet that out to somebody, like if in your league?
I mean,
shout
I
out
probably
to
wouldn't tweet anyone.
Justin, you'll love this. Shout out to our teammate Sam, who's in the chat giving us hot fire, apparently.
Ooh, wow. Got a crowd coming in.
How many hits did you have on Saturday, Sam?
Oh, wow. Here we go.
Calling out.
Here we go.
Oh, boy. Well, yeah, I don't know. Fernando Tatis, he's not really, he's a little cocky for me. I mean, he's good. Don't get me wrong. But that little, I don't know. He's just got some swag to him that I'm just not really a fan of.
See, that's that old guard. That's that old guard.
Get off my lawn, said Gimbal.
Shake your raker broom. Look, I think he's very flamboyant with the way that he plays, and it's exciting. Unfortunately, as a Giants fan, I'm usually not stoked whenever he is on the highlights, but it's hard to deny the talent. Granted,
but come on, let's be honest. Like
a little help,
the stupidity that he has, though, is like, I mean, let's not only was it a motorcycle accident that he got into? Wasn't that it? Because he was injured.
Yeah, some like that, a motorcycle accident, but so did Jeff Kent back in the day.
No, yeah, I know, but then
he did get flamed for that too.
Just washing the car, that's all.
Yeah, but right. Yeah, but then he also gets caught with steroids, so he's like a double whammy. I'm like, come on. Like that's just not.
Plus, didn't he
it's like all-time good guy Mark Grace said, if you're not cheating, you're not trying hard enough.
It's a good rule to live by, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, but as a Dodgers fan, I feel like you don't actually subscribe to that, because I feel like the Astros were trying really hard at that point then,
They were trying really hard, yeah, I know. Yeah, that's a whole other sidebar discussion we don't have time for. Let's see, are we spinning a wheel? How are we doing backstage? We got 2 backstage producers working hard. Thank you guys for working very hard. There's YouTube, there's Playback, there's Twitter, there's IG. These guys are on top of it, trying to make sure that we are all smooth. Let's get a thumbs up if we are good for a wheel spin at some point, or I don't know, maybe we don't have 10 likes. I'm not sure. We're not getting a thumbs up, so we're just going to keep moving here. Let's see. Oh, no, we're sharing.
We got a spin. Let's go.
We got a wheel. All right. So for folks that are watching on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Playback, go to YouTube, like the video. For every 10 likes, we are giving away a $25 gift card. And let's do it, John, whenever you're ready. Spin the wheel.
Anybody but Samwise.
Or
please.
maybe it's not John. No, it is John. Yeah, he's spinning the wheel. I think. He's giving us a lot of anticipation right here. This is
Do we need a drum roll?
There we go.
Oh,
hey, spinning the wheel. Dun, dun, dun. And we got Deb L with the W. Deb L. Email us at triplecrosspodcast@gmail.com. Yes. Woo! There's so many things to remember during this podcast. My mind is going to explode. triplecrosspodcast@gmail.com. Tell us this is episode number 54 and that you won on our first wheel spin. Cool. Let's keep this ball rolling. I didn't know this, but Warren, good call out. This is kind of sad though. I feel so sad. 14 AAA games on Tuesday, and 11 of them outdrew the Oakland A's. Where did you get this stat?
It's not. I didn't do the research. Saw it on Twitter. It actually gets worse than that. 4 of those 11 AAA games had twice as many fans as the A's. I will add though, in good news from the A's front, apparently they are making a little bit of progress towards the Howard Terminal Stadium. We all want to see that. Baseball is better when the A's are in Oakland, where they belong, in the shadow of the Giants.
Oh, I'm glad they're moving that along because opening day I was watching the A's game. Actually, we watched the A's game.
Yeah, we watched it together.
Late night, right?
Yeah.
For those that were on Playback, and I was like super stoked because they had like fans in the stands, and I was like, "Oh my god, It reminded me of like when Moneyball was shot when I watched the movie, and there were like fans in the stands.
Well, that was a different era, my man. There were
fans in
the stands then.
But Moneyball was shot fairly recently. Yeah.
That movie also casually omitted Eric Chavez, Miguel Tejada, Huddy, Mulder, Zito. I mean, anyway,
yeah,
weird setup in that movie.
Well, I'm glad that they're making progress because it's they need to do
Aren't
something.
The A's like one of the most profitable teams, also.
Yeah,
that just came out too. They are top 5.
It's like, what's the goal? Do you want to have happy fans in the seats, or do you want to make money, man? I mean, what are we doing?
I mean, it depends on what kind of person you are, I guess. I mean,
I think I said this the first time you had me on, Matt, and I'm going to say it again because obviously it wasn't disqualifying the first time around. But the Fishers need to effing pony up on this and either sell the team or do what's best for the city of Oakland and the fans of the Oakland A's and get this stadium done. Stop relying on public money. This is BS. These are billionaires. Honestly.
Okay. So if the Fishers are watching or listening, take a word of advice from Warren. And you know what? We'll even throw in a free consultation too. The 3 of us will come on. We'll give you some advice on how to actually run a baseball team. Maybe we should get a tryout too. Just throw that in there.
Wow, the general population.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're above the general population in baseball ability. I was actually thinking about. I mean, this actually crossed my mind for real. I was like, if there's open tryouts still, because there used to be open tryouts, I would actually go and just try out. Why not?
That was during the strike, and you would.
Of course I would. Why wouldn't you?
Scab.
Yeah.
I mean, come on. Why wouldn't you go try out for an MLB team? No, they had it during
the worker, man.
I'll never cross the picket line.
And you know what? The minor leagues now, they actually doubled their salary.
Part of the last CBA, right?
Yeah, they got a new CBA. So even if I, maybe didn't make the big leagues, I get, double salary and maybe rookie ball or A. But I don't know. I'll look into it next
They
spring
were
training.
making legitimately poverty wages, so I'm not sure that doubling the salary would like make it worth your while per se. But hey,
Some shekels wouldn't be bad. But I want to keep moving on here because this I got to bring up. Did you guys see Rendon's altercation in Oakland?
he got suspended 4 games, didn't he?
He got suspended 4 games. Yeah, Warren, did you see it?
You think I watch A's games?
It's actually the Angels.
It was the Angels and the A's.
If you're a fan of Ohtani and Mike Trout, you would have watched it. But anyways,
so Rendon's on my fantasy team. I'm pretty disappointed about that.
Just to recap, Rendon, I guess a fan yelled at him that he was a bitch, and while he was walking out after the game through the tunnel, which I find actually kind of funny because I'm like, what other stadium has a tunnel that players in baseball have to walk by to go to the locker room now? It's all built in the dugout.
Football stadium.
I know it's a football stadium, but I was like, this is ridiculous. How are they just walking by fans? And he just grabs this guy's shirt and he's like, hey, did you call me a, bitch? I don't know if we're allowed to say this on air or whatever. Lost his mind and then got suspended 4 games. And I was just like, wow, this guy. First of all, they need to fix that problem. Like the dugout situation. I know they probably can't, they won't, but it was kind of ridiculous. I don't know if you guys have any thoughts on how to handle that situation.
Want to take it first, Warren?
The guy gets what was his contract, like 7 years, 250, something like that. You give me that much money, you can call me whatever you want.
Okay. All right, we'll have a conversation offline.
I think, I think the thing that fans can lose track of is, you're talking to another human being, another man, and there's just a certain level of respect that you should speak to people with. At least this is my opinion. And if you wouldn't say it to someone in a bar, I don't think you should say it to them from the stands either. And if you do, there is at least a possibility that someone is going to confront you about calling them a bitch. Like, it's one of those things, the B word, the P word, these tend to trigger certain people into, all right, you want to see how big of an whatever I am, let's let's see about that. And Rendon went over there to have a conversation. And
okay.
Now with that said, he's got a lot more to lose than this guy in the stands does. If he connected with the swipe that he attempted to make, now, he's got a lawyer, he's got a neck brace on. Like, I think there's something shifted in my jaw, like, and now he's suspended 4 games and he's got a lawsuit on his hands. So, how much is respect worth? I don't know, but at the end of the day, I still think, you should talk about his game. You suck, whatever. But calling someone a B or a P, I think, is a little bit out of bounds. So,
well, that's interesting.
Unless you would say it to him at a bar.
Well, no, I was going to say, because we all have actually been at stadiums before, and Warren likes to make sure that Warren has a very loud voice. You have a very loud voice, and it echoes, like it just goes. And you could be with 40,000 fans, and it will just go. And sometimes you like to let your thoughts out. I would say we don't have to go into any detail, but you and the umpires have a special relationship sometimes at games. If you want to dive into that at all.
I don't. It's a part of baseball. Let's move on.
Okay. And moving on. So the other fun thing that happened this past week was a Dodgers fan jumped from center field
Hilarious.
and he
Oh,
proposed.
God.
He proposed to his girlfriend in center field and then just gets trucked by the security guards.
So unnecessary.
So I mean,
Oh,
so
so
let
good.
me get this straight. Like, you want to propose, and then right after you propose, you want to just get trucked by security, be thrown out of the game. Yeah, the proposal was a knockout.
It's a knockout. Nice.
No kidding.
I mean, come on.
Cheers.
Oh my gosh. Now,
Lord have
I
mercy.
have not run on a baseball field. I don't have any intention to, since you see those things.
We know.
Yeah, I know. But it leads me to my next point with all these two altercations, and I want to talk about all-time brawls. I actually watched a documentary on Nolan Ryan. I think it's on Netflix. And between those two things happening and then watching the documentary with Nolan Ryan, I was like, we have to talk about all-time brawls, because there are some brawls that are just for the ages. So Justin, take the floor. Tell me one of the brawls that sticks out to you that has happened in the past.
Man, I want to say it was Juan Marichal, and he does the donkey kick to take the catcher out, and then he takes the bat with him.
With the bat, yeah.
And he goes up to the pitcher. I was like, this is a different time. You know, it's in black and white. You're like, this is attempted murder. What are we doing, man? Like, he threw a ball at you. What's going on? But like, I feel like everything less than that is tame. You know, this guy he had bad intentions. I know what was it? Bryce Harper and God, what was that?
Hunter.
Hunter, yeah.
Hunter Strickland.
Hunter give up a bunch of bombs to lefty Strickland. And he came this close to getting winged with his helmet. And I think it actually was the end of Michael Morse's career, because Samardzija, who I mean was an ex-football player, pretty large in his own right, trucked Morse, like trying to break up the scrum, and concuss Michael Morse, and I don't think he ever played again. So anyway, probably those two. Obviously, they're Giants altercations, but those stand out in my mind for sure.
Those are great. I don't think I haven't. I mean, I have seen them both, but I don't like, they don't stick out to me. I guess
Definitely
I haven't seen them enough.
Definitely worth the YouTubing. For sure.
Yeah, I think probably. Warren, what sticks out to you? Oh, Adam says 2004 Boston Red Sox brawl started with A-Rod and Veritek, led to break of
Was that the one where Pedro pulled down what's his face? Lasorda?
No,
not
Lasorda. No, the other manager on
the other really, really old guy.
Just a different old guy.
I was going to say the fight that sticks out to me was, and this came across social media today or yesterday, and I'm drawing a huge blank on the names, but a pitcher in the 70s throws behind a lefty batter, and the batter just kind of dusts himself off, stares at him, says, okay. Very next pitch, he lays a bunt down the first base line, and the pitcher goes to field it about halfway up the line, and the batter runs 45 degrees into the field and trucks the ever-loving crap out of the pitcher, and then continues on the first base like nothing happened.
Oh, my bad. Sorry, I got lost.
Doesn't quite get there because, like we were saying, a different era, he got like group stomped by the other team before getting to first base. And that sticks out in my mind just because I saw it recently. But
I have to watch that on YouTube. Yeah. While I was watching the Nolan Ryan documentary, they showed the Ventura fight, and that's just so classic, right? So classic. And the one thing I didn't know is during that fight, Nolan Ryan said that he was actually pushed down to the ground and he couldn't breathe. Like he was scared for his life. and the guy he felt this like huge arm like grab him and lift him up, and it was Bo Jackson.
Well, Jackson was a humongous, like he was a strong dude, man.
Yeah, he still is probably a strong dude. Yeah, I like when the dugout's empty. I mean, when the dugout's empty, it's when the bullpen
The bullpens
empties.
come
Yeah,
empty, like
when
everyone
the
starts.
bullpen empties, that's when it gets yeah. There's
I don't think we're going to see that again, though. I mean, there was the Amir Garrett incident where he charged the dugout, but generally speaking, I mean, these guys make so much money. If you break your hand punching somebody in the face and you're out for 8 months, I mean,
8 months.
There's a lot to protect.
I disagree. I think we're going to see that for sure. Definitely. I mean, come on. These guys some of them have a very short fuse, and they got to stand up for their guys. I mean, especially if it's a big rivalry, Dodgers, Giants, Red Sox, Yankees, there's some tension. I think that they'll come out.
Any team with Bumgarner on it, I mean, there's always a chance.
You always get every team has I mean, I don't want to call him out, but I'm calling him out, like a Dennis Rodman. They've got somebody who's just ready to let loose, and it doesn't matter. They're not thinking of oh, I'm going to break my hand and be out certain. And first of all, they're guaranteed. It's guaranteed.
No, you're right. You're right. Every team's got a wet ass that's always going to get after it.
Yeah, I'm.
Is it wet ass or red ass?
Well, I said wet.
I know. I think it's red though. I think that I was I don't know what a wet ass is, man, but I don't think it means what you think it does. I think that's a different podcast. That's an after hours topic for sure.
Also another, kind of going off of brawls, Manny Machado got thrown out for getting called for a third strike, and he was arguing with the umpire, and you can't argue with the umpire on balls and strikes. And I was like, okay, if we have this rule in place, and then we get automated umpires like robots, you can't have that altercation anymore. And that's what's so fun is this ridiculous stuff that happens during the game that we're talking about on a podcast right now. So I'm not a fan of this auto robot thing. I'm not a fan.
I mean, on one hand, it's great for having a standardized strike zone, right? But I like the idea of having to pitch to the strike zone that is there on that day, right? It's oh, I've got 6 inches to the inside. I'm going to exploit that, Maybe it's not there on the other side. Maybe, you're getting squeezed on the corners or high or low, so be it. But I think it would be kind of weird to just have umpires essentially just being bouncers. That's just in case something happens. We got to keep them out there just to break up the altercation, because funny. Robots aren't good at breaking up altercations. At this point.
Would they wear as their uniform as a bouncer?
I think you go full WWE, with the stripes. Stripes and a whistle. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. Oh, that would be interesting. Yeah, we'll see what unfolds, but I'm not a fan. Where are we backstage producers, where are we stand on likes? Do we need to do a wheel spin? Yes, no, thumbs up, thumbs down. While we're waiting on yes. Okay, we could do a wheel spin, I think. No? Yes, we're going. For folks that are watching on YouTube, Twitter, Instagram, Playback, go to YouTube, like the video. For every 10 likes, we are doing a wheel spin, $25 MLB shop gift card. And yeah, John, whenever you're ready, rip that wheel. $25. It's making it super big. There we go. It's a little hit.
Anybody with Samwise.
And
oh my God.
Wilbur K. Wilbur K, you are our winner. Winner, chicken dinner. Email triplecrosspodcast@gmail.com. Tell us that you won the second wheel spin in episode 54. and we will email you a $25 MLB gift shop card. Congratulations. If I don't know where we are on likes, but we may do another wheel spin if we get to 30 likes. If not, head over to playback.tv/Triple Cross Podcast. The link is also in the description. And we're giving away an exclusive $25 gift card on that channel. So make sure you're on both YouTube and Playback at least. All right, this brings me to my last point. And since there's been all these rule changes, I wanted to bring up something that I think would be cool. And I may have brought this up to you guys. So we will do one more wheel spin for Playback members. Yep, so go sign up. I may have brought this up to you guys both, but I think what would be so cool to make baseball thrive even more is to bring back some of the legends, some of the folks that have retired recently that we know that can still play, and give them the option to come back on a short-term contract, whatever it may be. I don't care if it's 10 days, 20 days, if it maybe it's only in September. But there's guys that we know that can still play if they get a ball or a bat in their hand. And not only that can they still play, but the amount of fans that would go to the games, the amount of fans that would watch the games would be monumental. Now, I don't know if Barry Bonds can still swing it. Maybe he can, maybe he can't. But I don't know. But I guarantee you, if he got a 10-day contract with the Giants, that place would be rocking. Justin, what are your thoughts on my proposal?
Man, I don't love that idea, but I do like the idea of like bringing back the old timers game though, and having that as like an exhibition before, like almost like, because I feel like when I was a kid they still had them. And it would be like before the game started, there'd be like a little exhibition of the old timers games. That I feel like makes more sense than having a guy who's like 55 years old trying to play with 22-year-olds or 26-year-olds. I think that's, you don't want to see your heroes getting overmatched at the plate.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm happy to see him, take a guy that was his contemporary 20 years ago deep. Like, I'm good with that. I don't think, Garrett Cole going against, Sammy Sosa. Like, I mean, does that do anyone any good?
I know, but Sammy may be out of that window of like, okay, you've been retired for, 5+ years or something, where it's like, yeah, you're probably not going to be able to step in the box and swing it. But I mean, if you're a few years retired out, like for example, I mean, hey, Pujols had a great season last year, right? Like, clearly,
though.
Well, I mean, I don't know how many he had. Let me take it back. He didn't have a great season. He had a solid season for a 40-something-year-old. Okay, but to bring him back, the fans that would come back on it, Griffey. I mean, well, he may be out of that zone a little bit. Warren, what's your take on it? Since Justin just completely shot me down and like made my recommendation just trash. Are you on board with me or no?
Well, I will say, Justin, that was a very diplomatic take. Matt, that was one of the stupidest ideas I've ever heard.
Ouch.
It
always be worse, Matt.
I think what you want is a Champions League like they have in golf for old baseball players that you might hope to be able to enter one day. But it doesn't matter if you're 20, 25, 30, or whatever the hell old you are now. You're never going to get into the league. All right? I would love to see Barry Bonds bat against Eric Gagne today. I would pay money to see that. But not for the pro teams. Fans aren't stupid. They want to see wins. Nobody's going to pay money to see Barry Bonds come back on some sympathy contract.
I disagree.
No.
Come on.
It wouldn't work.
I mean,
Barry Bonds signs a 10-day contract with the Giants. And you're telling me that that stadium would not be full?
But it's a gimmick. Like that's what
It's a
that
gimmick.
is. You're not there to see him compete at a professional level. Like baseball isn't basketball. Like you're
I
not just going to
agree.
come out of bed and hit a 98-mile-per-hour fastball on the
Barry
corner. Like,
Bonds
that's
may
not
be
going to
able
happen.
to. He's the only guy that probably could.
I mean, he might be able to, but it's still
Who wins?
That's a
home
great
run
question
derby
right
between
there.
contract.
Bonds, Griffey,
Like
and
you
Sosa?
you would take you, say at the best case scenario, it takes you 7 games to get something like timing back, and now you're out of here. And like you're batting
I don't
072
know.
in the meantime. Like, what are we doing?
I think
At least there's no shift, but
yeah,
my
that's right.
goodness.
Who wins a home run derby between Griffey? Was it Sosa, Griffey, and Bonds today?
Does Sosa get a cork bat? Yes or no?
I don't know. Oh, that's a good one. I guess it depends on. I would say probably it would be. I think Griffey would win if I had to put my money on it.
I mean,
Yeah,
is he
Roy
healthy
and
enough,
Cork
though?
bats
Like,
permitted.
he had so many injuries.
I
That's
don't know.
basically what derailed
I
his
honestly
career.
think I think it would be or there's some idea where it's like, okay, if you within 3 years of retirement, you can come back on a 15-day, contract or something like that.
But you retired for a reason, man.
Why?
Because it's kind of a cool thing.
No, it's not.
Give
Okay,
him
fine.
Tim as
Then
a
I'm
business,
then I,
Adam.
all right. For the folks that are watching, who thinks that's cool and who thinks it's a bad idea? Let's get a poll. I don't know. Can we just have an automatic poll?
Get a
Can the
straw
just
poll up
pop
here.
up? I know the
On a
background
scale from 1 to
producers
10, how
are-
much crack is Matt on right now? Like,
I'm just trying to make it more entertaining. McGuire. Yeah, I mean, there's some guys that may, I don't know. It would be fun. Or some rendition of this concept, having a game. Maybe it's during the All-Star game, right? The old timers play a game instead of the softball game that they play, like the celebrity softball game. We play a old timers game.
Yeah, here's the problem with that. It already exists. They do it at Doubleday Field in upstate New York, where you should know because you and I have visited that together. And if you were paying attention to the history that we were learning there about baseball, maybe you'd know that.
Yeah, they do an old timers game there.
Yeah. They do an invitees old timers game for sure.
Okay. No, I knew they did a game there. I didn't know how big of a
it's older. It's older than the generation you're talking about. I do think it would be cool to have a Champions League, but at the same time, baseball's a lot harder on the body than golf is. So it would be difficult. A lot of people retire because of the wear and tear. I mean,
yeah.
That's the length of the season, though. I mean, if you had a 40-game season, is that more accessible?
Okay, Gim said he'd go watch. Okay, so we got one. No,
I thought I said on a scale of how much crack are you smoking? If you said 10, that might mean that he means you're tripping.
Cecil Fielder. Gimp wants to see Cecil Fielder. Ooh. Man. Yeah. See, you're bringing back some nostalgia to the game. I don't know. I'm gonna throw it by the commish and see what happens. And we'll see how far it goes. 68% of chat wants to see the old timers game. Okay.
Yeah, old timers game. That was my compromise for you.
All right. Well. We'll see if I don't have high hopes for my idea, but I had to throw it out there. Guys, I'm gonna give you the floor. Any last call outs opening week that you want to point out? Either of you can take it.
I'm
excited. Giants opening day is tomorrow. I'm gonna go. It's gonna be fun.
Oh, you are?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with the lady and the kid. So it should be fun.
Cool.
And the Giants, it's a mixed bag. It's a mixed bag. We got boom or bust. That's, either we're going to hit 15 home runs in 3 games or we're scoring nothing on the other games. So it's been exciting. I think this is pretty much what Farhan expected, a team that hit a lot of home runs and maybe not much else. But it is certainly exciting when they do hit it. So I, for one, am excited, but given the pattern, they may get shut out tomorrow. So we'll see what happens.
Warren, are you joining Justin with an additional ticket, or are you staying home to watch?
No, I'm not joining Justin. I will be watching, but Justin and I did work out a stat today that he didn't say, so I'm going to slide in there and get it in. But up until today's game, the San Francisco Giants had 36 hits total, and 10 of them were home runs. And today, I don't even know how many effing home runs we had. But there's a strong reliance on, like Justin said, the boomer bust, and it's pretty insane when you actually look at the numbers. That is 20 hits that the Giants have had this year that are not home runs. I don't know how this is going to go, but we'll see.
We'll find
Especially
out.
against good pitching.
Just to show, I mean, just for folks that are listening or watching, the Giants are in 4th place at 3-3. The Dodgers are in 1st place at 4-2. The best team in baseball are the Rays. They're 6-0 right now, undefeated. I mean, the Rays are always in it, and they get no publicity because of the Rays, formerly known as the Devil Rays. And I don't know, that team, something needs to happen there too, but not just Oakland, because they're solid and they just, I don't know.
The Rays to Las Vegas.
Move the Rays. There we go. Maybe. All right, for folks that are watching on YouTube, or actually, are we doing another wheel spin here? Can we get a thumbs up or something, background producers? Are we at 30 likes here? Was that a thumbs up? Maybe? No, we're not 30 likes. All right. So for folks that are watching on YouTube, on Twitter, on Instagram, I think I'm covering the bases. Head over to Playback. We are going to do another wheel spin. And that's what we're going to do. So head over to playback.tv/triple-cross podcast. Link in the description. We're gonna do the Playback spin here. Okay. So we're gonna get that up and running and give the background producers a little bit of time here to get that rocking and rolling. And we will get with it. What time is the game tomorrow, Justin? Is it day game? Night game?
It is a day game.
Okay.
I think the Giants only play day games for the first however many games. I think it's a while before they play.
You're bringing your sunscreen?
Yeah, I will be.
Well, actually, we went to a game. It was a Mother's Day giveaway.
Oh, you got the sun hat. Amazing.
I got a sun hat.
Incredible. It fit. I mean, Matt, you look great on the.
I know
with the sun hat going.
With the women's sun hat, but I had to protect myself from the sun. That's tip.
The sun and you are not good friends.
Watching,
it's an antagonistic relationship. So got to protect yourself at all times.
You were sitting down in the sun. I was like, I don't know. This is like real risky territory for me.
Yeah, I don't have the same issues with the sun, but you got to protect the face.
I got to protect the moneymaker for sure. I mean, now that we're going live on so many different places, this actually is the moneymaker. Yeah. All right. Background producers, whenever we're ready, we can throw it up. No. Calling an audible. We're gonna close up shop. We're gonna do our last playback on. Last giveaway on Playback. Thank you. All right. So, for folks that are watching on Twitter, on YouTube, on Instagram, head over to playback.tv/triple-cross podcast. Thanks for watching. Baseball episode. I'm Matt, Warren, Justin. We will be back next week for more baseball and more insight on the season. See you guys later.
Thank you guys.
See ya.